Welcome to episode 115 of Pink's Picks Book Recs, commentary from a retired high school English teacher. When you hear today's historical fiction title, Happy Land, what is your first thought? Do you think of Disney World and its superlative slogan, Finland and its global ranking, a Polynesian paradise, a psychedelics-fueled fantasy? What if I told you that it was an actual place in Appalachia? Author Dolen Perkins-Valdez, a Pink's Picks repeat, see episode 88, Take My Hand, has her undergrad from Harvard, a PhD from George Washington, is a creative writing professor, and is widely considered a preeminent chronicler of American life. In 2022, she discovered Happy Land, a Black intentional community which once had a population of over 200 people. In the fall of 1873, a group of freed people left Spartanburg County, South Carolina. The reasons why are unknown. However, the federal government had recently ended the Ku Klux Klan trials, so they may have feared retribution. In the novel, a libelous newspaper article accused the group of human sacrifice and cannibalism. Further, a kindly white store owner warned that there was trouble afoot, and even offered to cancel the debts of a former slave if, due to the threat, he decided to leave town. Thus, the group crossed the state line into North Carolina, ended up near Hendersonville, and established a remote community that they called a kingdom, and eventually purchased 205 acres of land. Perkins-Valdez begins Happy Land with an apt epigraph, Langston Hughes' poem, Our Land. Then starts the narrative with Nikki, a Washington, D.C. real estate agent. She's almost 40 years old and is visiting her estranged grandmother for the first time. Mother Rita had called and asked her to come to Western North Carolina. Once there, Mother Rita proceeds to regale Nikki with the story of their local royal heritage, which resonates more fairy tale than fact. Subsequent chapters rotate between Nikki's modern-day story, we never know the exact setting, and that of her great-great-great-grandmother Luella, which begins in 1873. In some distinct and other different ways, Happy Land reminds me of two books I read before Pink's Picks that were both adapted to the screen. Callie Hart Hemmings' novel, The Descendants, set in Hawaii, and David Grand's nonfiction, Killers of the Flower Moon, which takes place in Oklahoma. All three titles share divisive family drama that is exacerbated by land rights issues, including, in Happy Land, a form of forced acquisition known as heirs property. At one point in Nikki's narrative, a real estate attorney explains to her that coastal Carolina is ground zero for heirs property losses, and furthers that Black folks lost their land in all kinds of predatory ways: racial terror, lynching, intentionally increased taxes they couldn't afford. Some estimate that African Americans lost over 90% of their land over the course of the 20th century. Despite all that, there is so much more to Happy Land than that critical but sad part of the story. It's about the strength of community, resourcefulness and resilience, female empowerment, culture, the restorative elements of nature, identity, and the importance of literacy and libraries. I loved Happy Land. I finished it in less than 48 hours. I give this book an A. Until next time, stay safe, make good choices, and do your homework. Bye-bye.